'Cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Maluma, Nambour, Roochdoor, Kilmore, Marilla,
Gulgong,
Lemmerville, Wallaville, Conowano,
Gulgong,
Strathround, Proserpine, Alladala,
Gulgong,
Gingin, Lillaquen, Muckdilla,
Gulgong,
Bougainville, Cumberland, I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man.
Unsurprisingly, Rob, today we are going to Gulgong, and Gulgong is another song that's in the song somewhere further in, but I didn't get a chance to recut the intro. There's a man in Gulgong who is sitting on the other end of a telephonic device up there. His name is Maurice Gaudry. Good morning to you, Maurice.
Morning, Neil. How are you today?
Doing very well, thanks, mate. Great to have made your acquaintance during the week as an episode of the I've Been Everywhere project. But I thought, no, get on the radio today and have a chat, because Rob's got no idea where he's going to find Gulgong, so you better help him.
Question number one, Maurice, where the bloody hell is Gulgong?
Oh, it's about central New South Wales is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
If you know Lithgow, Dubbo, Orange, it's in that area. Around, within hundreds of kilometres, you know what it's like out in the middle of New South Wales. But that just about gets you there.
When I hear the word orange, I don't think of a fruity thing. I think of how bloody cold it is when you have a frost. Do you get frosts like that at Gulgong?
We get them, but not as bad as Orange. The days in winter are very frosty, but they're beautiful days. Once about 10 o'clock, the days are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Big blue sky, and yeah, I love it.
Amusingly, Rob refers to Orange not being a fruity thing. When you drive into Orange, Maurice, you may have seen the sign. The sign says Orange, Apple capital of New South Wales. And you mention that to people and they look at you and go, yeah. And I mentioned it to someone one day and they said, oh, because apples are red or green, not orange.
Yeah, someone lost the plot there. Call them an Orange.
Yeah. By the same token, I went past the Toyota dealership and it's got orange Toyota and there's a car in it which is black. I said to the girl who was serving in the restaurant that night, it says orange Toyota, but that's black. And she looked at me like I'd asked her to dance and she said, no, the town's called Orange. Anyway, back to Gulgong.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, what do they do at Gulgong, Maurice?
Have you been to Gulgong?
No, I don't think so. I've been to Orange.
Oh, well, you wouldn't miss it if you came here. It's pretty unique. The main street's like a dog's hind leg and just about as narrow. They reckon the dogs have got to wave their tails up and down going up the main street.
and tell Rob what the name of the main street is.
Main, M-A-Y-N-E. It's named after a fella, not as a main street.
Oh, right.
Believe that. Yeah.
And then no E on the end.
Yeah.
M-A-Y-N-E.
Oh, there is an E on the end. Right, that one.
There's a Y instead of an I.
Oh, dear me.
So they spent their entire time doing it. No. Not M-A-I-N, M-A-Y-N-E.
Have you still got a railway hotel?
No, we don't have a railway hotel. That's one of the few hotels we haven't got. Yeah, no.
Is the town big enough to have more than one hotel?
Hotel and the Centennial Hotel and all the old names that they used to have, and we did have a Royal Hotel, but they turned that into a motel.
Now, if everybody was home on a given day, Maurice, how many people would be in Gulgong?
If they're all at home, about 2.5, 2 3/4.
Yeah, that's a sort of typical rural New South Wales town, I suppose.
Yeah, it is.
So my recollection, if I'm well read or I've listened to a podcast episode, a little bit of gold mining happened in its time.
Yeah, well, in the gold was discovered in 1870, and by 1872, there was between 15 and 20,000 miners here. They found a lot of gold, and the gold rush went for about 5 years or something around about that before it all petered out. It was what they call alluvial gold, so the gold was reasonably shallow. So they used to dig down, they'd go down about 60 or 70 feet and they'd go off on what they call a drive, chasing the gold. And they got a lot of gold. Yeah.
And the town then obviously has a rural element to it, very much wool or cattle or cropping in that area now?
Not so much cropping anymore. They've got cattle, they've gone into cattle and sheep, and we've got a couple of mines around the place, couple of big coal mines at Ewelin, which is just over the top of dividing range at where Gulgong is about 20, 30 k's out, and the coal mine's just on the other side, so we don't get any of the dust, which is lovely.
You said not cropping anymore. That's an unusual thing. Australian landscapes change with sheep and cattle disappearing and cropping taking over. Is your area gone the other way?
Yeah, well, see, when I was a kid, there was a hell of a lot of wheat grown. You'd see the wheat trucks lined up at the silos in the wheat season. They'd be lined up there trying to get their loads of wheat in, but they've all gone. There is some wheat grown around here, and it's quite a good area for wheat, but they seem to have gone into sorghum and sheep and cattle, and there wasn't a lot of cattle around when I was a kid either. There was a lot of sheep, of course. So it has changed.
That's worth some investigation. That's very different to normal Australian agriculture. As being a former builder, you're probably not the right person to ask why.
No, I'm not the man to ask. I even guess.
How many houses in Gulgong do you reckon you've built in your time?
Oh, well, I'm the plumber. I'm not...
Oh, all right. But yeah, how many have you plumbed in your time?
Oh, goodness gracious, mate. Nearly every one of them.
And more in the pipeline.
And then later on in my career, I got into building a few, and we've been doing up a lot of the old miners' cottages. I love doing them up. So they're just the old... They're not substantial buildings, but they are beautiful buildings and well worth restoring, and people love to buy them and live in them. They're not big places, but they're just cosy and they're just nice little places to live in.
Being an old plumber, do you used to get intrigued the way plumbing used to be done in yesteryear when you go in and restore these old places?
Oh yeah, it was very basic, and of course for a long time Gulgong didn't have a sewer, so it was the old pits out the back. It was fairly rugged. In the 70s or 80s, about the 80s, I think, they put the sewer through, which was like a lottery win, really.
They're now waiting for electricity.
Yes.
So is the town growing, shrinking, staying about stable?
Gulgong was one of the last towns to go automatic with the telephone.
Oh, okay.
We didn't think it had ever happened. All the towns around us were all gone automatic, and we're still ringing up and asking for the number.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to talk to Olive this morning, Rob, when you rang?
Yeah, Olive and Doris at their phone exchange that know everything that's going on in everyone's life.
Yeah. And the country people had it worse. They had a party line.
Oh, yeah, everyone could be involved in the conversation. You're bringing back memories for Rob in his mid-teens. Maurice, we've got to get going, but thanks for telling us about Gulgong. Your episode will come out at some stage later in the year, and of course we'll tell people on the wireless when that happens. But Gulgong sounds like a place I need to get to.
You do. When you get there, look me up and I'll be glad to show you.
You can be our tour guide.
And there's a museum that we have to mention, because if we don't, Maurice will get into strife when he hangs up and is asked, did you mention the museum?
Don't forget about coming to the Halterman Museum, or I have divorce on my hands.
Thanks, Maurice. We'll chat soon.
Good on you, mate. Best wishes to you.
Cheers.